Fortinet FCSS_LED_AR 7.6 exam practice questions with explanations are available in the video for you to study. A team is deploying FortiGate units using zero-touch provisioning, ZTP. Despite being powered on, the units are not reaching FortiManager for their initial setup. Which network configuration failure is most likely responsible? A. The local administrator has not manually approved the connection on the FortiGate CLI. B. Connectivity is restricted on TCP port 541 between the devices and FortiManager. C. The ZTP protocol requires an active serial console connection to initiate the handshake. D. A local configuration file was not pre-installed on the FortiGate flash drive. The answer is B. For zero-touch provisioning to function successfully, the FortiGate must be able to establish a secure management tunnel with FortiManager via the FGFM protocol. This protocol specifically utilizes TCP port 541 for all management traffic, including the initial registration and subsequent configuration template delivery. If an intermediate firewall or ISP is blocking this specific port, the ZTP workflow will fail immediately as the device cannot be authorized or managed centrally. Validating end-to-end reachability on port 541 is a standard troubleshooting step for ZTP failures. To implement comprehensive device identification and security scanning for hardware connected to FortiSwitch ports via FortiLink, which specific subscription service is mandatory on the FortiGate? A. FortiGuard Threat Intelligence and Endpoint Telemetry. B. FortiGuard Vulnerability Management and Client Compliance. C. FortiGuard Attack Surface Security and IoT Detection. D. FortiGuard Advanced Malware Protection and Sandboxing. The answer is C. Enabling sophisticated device classification and vulnerability assessment within a LAN Edge environment requires the FortiGate to have access to specialized signature databases. The Attack Surface Security Rating Service license is essential because it provides the necessary IoT signature packages used to identify diverse hardware types. Furthermore, the IoT detection license, which is often bundled under the Attack Surface Entitlement, allows the system to report on specific vulnerabilities associated with detected endpoints. Without these active FortiGuard subscriptions, the FortiGate acting as a switch controller cannot accurately profile or segment devices based on their security posture. In a LAN Edge architecture where a FortiGate manages a FortiSwitch, why is it vital that both devices have their internal clocks synchronized via NTP? A. It is a technical requirement for the synchronization of firmware binary files. B. It allows switches to maintain a local routing table if the management link drops. C. It ensures that logs, certificate validation, and security events are accurately correlated. D. It is used by the FortiLink protocol to determine the primary LACP member. The answer is C. Maintaining a consistent time source across all security fabric components is critical for the integrity of network operations and forensic analysis. When FortiGate manages a FortiSwitch, accurate timestamps are required for validating SSL, TLS certificates used in secure management tunnels. Furthermore, Timestamp consistency is indispensable for the FortiAnalyzer or local FortiGate logs to correctly correlate 802.1x authentication attempts with subsequent traffic events. Without NTP synchronization, troubleshooting connectivity issues become significantly more difficult due to mismatched log entries. Which component of a LAN Edge deployment is primarily responsible for the automatic onboarding of new hardware and the verification of its security compliance before granting network access? A. FortiGate Security Fabric Automation Stitches. B. FortiLink Network Access Control, NAC. C. FortiManager SD Branch Orchestration Templates. D. FortiGuard Threat Intelligence Database. The answer is B. FortiLink NAC is a specialized engine within the FortiGate that automates the lifecycle of devices connecting to the managed switch infrastructure. It functions by detecting new MAC addresses on switch ports and using various fingerprinting methods, such as DHCP signatures or IoT databases, to classify the device. Once classified, the NAC engine can automatically move the device into the correct VLAN or quarantine it if it fails to meet security posture requirements. This automation eliminates the need for manual port configuration and provides a foundational element for a zero-trust network architecture. When a specific device is placed into quarantine on a Forti switch managed via FortiLink, what is the standard behavior for the traffic exiting that device? A. The switch drops all frames immediately at the physical ingress port. B. Traffic is permitted only to the native VLAN assigned to the trunk. C. All egress traffic from the device is redirected to an isolated access VLAN. D. The traffic is tagged with a high-priority CUS value for administrative inspection. The answer is C. The quarantine mechanism in a Fortinet LAN Edge environment is designed to isolate potentially compromised endpoints from the rest of the production network. When a device is flagged, either manually or through an automation stitch, the switch controller dynamically reassigns the device's port or MAC address to a restricted access VLAN. This specific VLAN is isolated from sensitive subnets and typically only allows traffic to reach remediation servers or a limited portal. By forcing all egress traffic into this isolated segment, the system prevents lateral movement and protects the internal network integrity. An administrator is generating a certificate signing request, CSR, for a new security deployment. What is the consequence of entering inaccurate data in fields like the organization, O, or common name, CN? A. The certification authority, CA, will automatically correct the fields using its own database. B. The request will be rejected by the CA as it cannot validate the identity information. C. The certificate will still be issued but will only be valid for internal IP addresses. D. The fields are purely for administrative notes and do not affect the certificate validity. The answer is B. A CSR serves as the formal application for a digital certificate and must adhere to strict public key infrastructure (PKI) standards to ensure trust. The certification authority, CA, is responsible for verifying that the identity information provided in the CSR matches the actual entity requesting the certificate. If key identity fields are missing, malformed, or inaccurate, the CA cannot perform its validation duties and will consequently refuse to sign the request. Accurate field entry is therefore essential to prevent deployment delays and ensure the resulting certificate is trusted by clients and browsers. When troubleshooting an external captive portal where users are unable to see the login page, which configuration on the FortiGate is most likely missing even if exemption settings are configured? A firewall policy permitting traffic from the guest segment to the portal server. B. The security mode on the SSID must be changed from Open to WPA3 Enterprise. C. The HTTP redirection feature must be disabled to allow direct URL access. D. A static route pointing to the Forti authenticator must be added to the switch. The answer is A. Even when a destination is marked as exempt in the captive portal settings, the FortiGate's stateful firewall still requires an explicit policy to allow the traffic through. The exemption setting only tells the captive portal engine not to intercept traffic destined for the portal server, such as Forti Authenticator. However, if there is no firewall policy that allows the unauthenticated guest subnet to communicate with the portal's IP address, the packets will be dropped by the implicit deny rule. Consequently, the user's browser will time out before ever reaching the authentication login page. What is the primary technical function of the magic parameter found in the post request of a FortiGate captive portal session? A. It encrypts the user's password using a rotating one-time pad. B. It acts as a unique session identifier to validate the authentication request. C. It stores the user's browsing history for later reporting in FortiAnalyzer. D. It allows the FortiGate to bypass SSL inspection for that specific session. The answer is B. In the captive portal workflow, the FortiGate generates a unique token known as the magic ID to track an individual user's authentication attempt. This token is passed to the login page, either local or external, and must be returned to the FortiGate during the post-submission of the user's credentials. The magic value ensures that the authentication request is legitimate and tied to the specific IP and interface session that was originally redirected. If this parameter is missing or altered by an external portal, the FortiGate will reject the login attempt as an invalid or expired session. Which VLAN is utilized by a FortiGate switch controller to temporarily house a device that does not match any existing NAC policy criteria? A. The management VLAN. B. The native VLAN. C. The onboarding VLAN. D. The quarantine VLAN. The answer is C. Within the FortiLink NAC framework, the onboarding VLAN serves as a staging area for newly connected and unclassified endpoints. When a device first plugs into an NAC-enabled port, it is placed into this restricted segment so the FortiGate can safely collect its MAC address, DHCP fingerprints, and other telemetry. The NAC engine then compares this data against its configured policy set to determine if the device should be moved to a specific production or guest VLAN. If the device fails to match any defined rules, it remains in the onboarding VLAN by default, ensuring it has no unauthorized access to sensitive network resources. An administrator is configuring a FortiAP profile to optimize wireless performance. How does the Auto TX power control feature determine the appropriate transmit power for an AP radio? A. It adjusts power based on the signal strength of the closest neighboring access point. B. It increases power to the maximum allowed by the local regulatory domain at all times. C. It measures the signal strength of the weakest connected client to adjust output levels. D. It disables the radio if the interference level from non-Wi-Fi devices exceeds 50%. The answer is C. The Auto TX power control feature is an RF management tool used to balance coverage and minimize co-channel interference in a high-density wireless environment. The wireless controller, FortiGate, monitors the received signal strength indicator, RSSI, of all clients associated with a specific FortiAP radio. It focuses on the client with the lowest signal strength and dynamically tunes the app's transmit power to ensure that this specific client remains within a reliable communication range. This prevents APs from over-transmitting when all clients are nearby, while still providing enough power to support devices at the edge of the coverage cell.